Hello and welcome to the new home, the new virtual home. Anyway, aside from the What I Just Done channel promo that we put out, this is kind of pretty much the first piece of new content on our second channel. So thank you, and to kick things off, just wanted to say thanks to everyone who found their way here from the main channel and for checking out and supporting what we've been doing with the sort of reissue of old content from both Night Sights and What I Just Done Read 2. That's TOO, not TWO. For our more recent subscribers, then I hope this process has given you a chance to sort of catch up and bring you up to speed with what we've done so far. And if you are discovering us for the first time with this video, then hello, welcome, and please do all the usual: like, share, subscribe, etc., etc., etc. As you may be able to hear, I'm still a little bit down with the sickness, so damn you, Jethro. Let us know that you're ill before you come up next time. So sticking with channel news, we've had a pretty good start to what I've done, all things considered. Again, considering that the content so far has all been sort of regurgitated stuff, if you like. And I'm looking forward to seeing how that sort of grows and develops as we start feeding in more new content onto the channel over the coming weeks and months. Starting with this, as I've said, and also soon to be followed up with all new What I Just Done Read. Oh, and on that point, I just wanted to clarify as well. So the new episodes of What I Just Done Read will be going out on a separate playlist to the From the Notebook playlist of all of the old stuff, just so you're aware. I've only got a tiny little bit of the good stuff here, I must admit, mostly because, as I mentioned in the January one, I was doing dry January, and I must admit I haven't actually had a drink since. So this is how much I'm suffering for my art. Over to the main channel, and another apology again for the delays to maybe movies and having had to put our March content back to April. As I explained in the short that went out towards the end of last week on the main channel, it's been about a week to 10 days of utter shite. Essentially what happened was there was an update on my Google phone about an hour or so before we shot Maybe Movies, the first episode for March, and whether it was that or something else, for some reason it just didn't record for 2 of the acts of the episode that we shot, which at the time was frustrating. And then we're like, well, actually, it's not a problem. What we'll do is we'll just put it out as a podcast. And then discovered that Sam's sound recorder hadn't recorded audio for the 3rd act as well. So hooray for all of that. So we're like, no problem at all. It wasn't that long an act. We can redo the audio and we'll, as we said, put it out as a podcast. And then the next day, my computer died. And that took some time to sort out, because whatever happened to it, it essentially looked like something had just come in and scooped Windows out of the computer altogether. Thankfully, we've managed to get it back up and running, and a huge thank you to Julian and Scott, Julian in particular, from JS Computer and Device Help Limited, these lovely chaps here, there they are, who came out and saw us the next day and were absolutely wonderful. They're a local company here in Norwich who do computer repairs, and they will come and do them in your home if they can. So do check them out, and there will be a link to their website in the description below. So thank you, and again, Julian in particular, thank you for all of your help with this. And that was supposed to be an end to it. And then I had the fun of trying to reinstall Premiere Elements, which is the editing program that I use. And that's a story in its own right, culminating in the fact that, well, let's just say Adobe and their operating practices are the kind of thing that I would like to say, well, I'll tell you what, guys, I'll see you next Tuesday. Let's put it that way. As a result, I've had to change the editing program that I use. I'm now going to be using Davinci Resolve, which I've never used before, hence why I've had to push everything back to next month, because it's a completely new learning curve, and I didn't want to be doing Maybe Movies as one of the first things to try and get up to speed with that. So again, to all of our supporters on both the channels. Huge apologies from both myself and from Sam as well, and a huge, huge thank you for your patience and your understanding while we resolve these issues. So turning to the publishing arm of the business for a bit as well. Portals is now finally with the printers. Woohoo! YPS, that's York Publishing Services, who I've used for all of our physical copies, are brilliant, and they're trawling through that at the moment. Stephen and I are eagerly awaiting first samples and that from the publishers, so that we can then fight tooth and nail over fonts and other related wonderful stuff. This will be the 4th publication for Xad Rum, and I do confess that I always get a bit excited about this part of the process. You know, this is when we get to see all of our hard work really kind of come to life and to grow, which is still, and has always been, a foundation element of what Xad Rum as a business is about. You know, growth and evolution and all of those kind of wonderful things. As to what's next... well, quite a bit, in fact. The second of my grandfather's novels, The Evil Cross, is pretty much ready to go. Just needs a proofread and some cover art, and then that one can be put into print. I'm undecided over which of my dad's works to do next. I'm leaning more towards there's an untitled manuscript that I found amongst his things, which is quite a short work, but it's a work of fiction, but seems to have been inspired by his own personal experiences when he was in the Royal Navy in the early 60s. So that might be the next thing of his that I do. On top of that, I'm looking forward to compiling some new stories for a follow-up to my original publication, Book of Squalor, as well as getting back to a poetry project that I started working on last year with my friend Simon Michael Morgan. And there's even a proper collab on a novel with Stephen Sinclair in the pipeline too. In addition to that, I'm also hoping to be able to add my good buddy Sam Terry to our stable of writers in the near future. So, you know what you've got to do.
Who?
You.
Me?
You! And if that wasn't enough, I'm also in the early stages of a side project that will hopefully see my father's children's novel, The Refugees from Daffodil Cottage, appear on Audible. That's a project that I'm working with the wonderful Naya Nomiku from YouTube as narrator for that project. So again, check links below for Naya's channel and give her some love because she's brilliant at what she does. So yeah, just one or two things going on there. Please come and join us for the ride if you like. At some point I'll get this thing called sleep as well. That's apparently something that humans do. Anyway... That's about all I'm gonna curb it there before I ramble any further. So again, as I say, thank you to everyone for your understanding and your patience at the moment. We are down, but we are not defeated. Yes, that's what I meant to say. Anyway, I'm going to round this one off with a wonderful quote. I'm sure I've used it before in several things, but it is a brilliant one, so I have no shame about using it again. In the words of Norman Stanley Fletcher, "Don't let the bastards grind you down."